So he had to walk him sick ball all the way to the place. And so Frank is worrying about this reform school for a couple of weeks, and he says, Dad, when am I going to have to go to reform school? Oh, they were just telling you that. Don't worry about it. All right. Time goes on, and Frank gets a job with a surveying company called C.E. Coulter and Associates. He works there 5 or 6 years, and he does very well. And he gets licensed, and Mr. Coulter decided he's going to retire. And the other surveyor there is Jack Peterson. Jack Peterson married Mr. Coulter's daughter, and they have grandchildren in their 20s. And so Jack gets 80% of the business, and Frank had his 20. And that goes on for a while. Then Jack's going to retire early. And Jack's idea of looking forward, looking ahead to things is Friday. You know, if he gets it, spend it. So he sells, Jack's going to retire, and he sells his business, and he gives 51% of the whole business to his son, John. And John has the same attitude of when to look, you know, put things forward, and the rest to his son, Mark. And so John, once he gets in the business, he spends most of his time upstairs working the adding machine, trying to figure out ways that he can get more money and screw everybody else. And so Frank and Mark take him aside and say, this has got to stop. You know, we're here to do surveying business. Let's go out and do it. And this irritated John no end. So he fires Mark, and he forces Frank out. But he has to pay Frank the same money he gave his dad per share of stock. So it came about 40 or 50 grand. But of course, he doesn't have it. So he makes an agreement with Frank. Well, for a while now, I'll just pay the interest. And this goes on for a while. And it turns out every time Frank wants an interest payment, he has to call him again and hassle him. It was just a pain in the ass. And finally, he's missed a couple, 3 payments, and Frank calls me and says, well, Frank, I don't have the money, and you're just going to have to deal with it. And Frank is one of these guys that takes things in, you know, and so he's just seething inside and figures he's got to do something. So he goes to an attorney, and he tries to find the nastiest one he can get, and he did. He talked to this one guy, and he's going to put a lien on the business, and he says, not only that, I'm going to wait till he just opens for business and you have all his people in there. I'll take the papers over and serve them right there in front of all his people so they know what a jerk he is. All right. So he serves the paper, and John is really upset by this because he looks like he can lose his business. And that's all he's got going for him. And he calls Frank. He says, Frank, we got to talk this over. Oh, no, you've got to talk to my attorney. Deal with it. So